The ruling Jamaica Labour Party says it's touting solid accomplishments, not spouting promises that it has set down for prosperity. In this book, what it says are only 250 of its solid achievements since taking charge of government in 2016. The woman at the helm of the party's campaign and manifesto segment of the machinery, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, who has been on the road since before day, as they would say, in rural Jamaica, joins me this evening to talk about what the JLP says it's the plinth from which it is launching its bid for a third consecutive term in office. Lead Story, Wednesday edition, starts now. Welcome to Lead Story on this Wednesday. A Wednesday like we've never seen before in the local politics. A Prime Minister on the streets of the corporate area handing out booklets chronicling what he says are his administration's solid achievements since taking office. That dawn happened February 25, 2016. And since that time, the JLP's hand has been on the wheel of power. And the Prime Minister says how they have wielded that power is chronicled in this booklet. Well, not a booklet, it's a book that we have. In case you missed all the excitement from earlier on this Wednesday, Nika Lewis was very kind enough to take time out of her busy schedule to prepare this for you.
Having published its record of achievements only hours prior, the Jamaica Labour Party called a media briefing where it formally updated the nation on its Choose Jamaica general election campaign headed by Dr. Christopher Tufton. General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang exuded confidence that once the balance sheets have been opened, Jamaicans will choose Jamaica.
Yeah, the audio devil there are wreaking havoc with that passage of the rap featuring Dr. Chang's comments. But nevertheless, we have Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith in the studio with us. And Minister, good to see you this evening. Let me start the discussion from this perspective, to look at what those who would not want the JLP administration to get a third term hold up as the big point of criticism. They say the fact is that many Jamaicans are not feeling prosperous. Many Jamaicans are having hard times. And so what is it captured in this book that shows what the administration has done in the area of easing the cost of living pressure that so many Jamaicans are grappling with?
You know, we would never diminish the difficulties that any person or any family experiences at any point in time. We know that we have not reached every family or every community, but we know we've reached a lot. 350,000 people have water now that never had water before. 150 police stations have been renovated, bringing greater protection in the communities that they serve. 138 community centers have been upgraded to have community members now getting service in a way that is dignified and comfortable, better equipment, more doctors, more nurses serving from those community centers. We know that the parish courts have cleared their backlogs, so people are getting justice faster, that we have free mediation, free conflict resolution, free counseling, free child diversion that has moved thousands of young people out of a prison path and right back into actually being top performers at their school because they've been set on the right path through mentorship. Free services, free mobile legal clinics, free mental health mobile clinics. things that have been happening that have been changing the lives of people in real and impactful ways that that we think will reflect in the vote. But we also recognize that everyone doesn't see that, and everyone hasn't experienced it yet. We know that the minimum wage has been increased by the highest percentage ever by an administration, 158%. When we took office, it was 6,200, and it's 16 now.
Hold the point.
Yeah.
Have to take the first break. This is a lead story here on CVM TV. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, lady managing the campaign and manifesto work that the JLP is busy with right now, is in studio. More from her after these.
People are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
It was rough. Every time the rain fall, the whole place wet up. I have to put the kids' book in a bag until the place dry out. Ah boy, I couldn't afford a new roof. Then one day, Ross tell me about a grant I can get through the government. So I sent a letter to the ministry telling them wagwan. The officers came, them do them inspection where I was able to go to the hardware store, get the supply so my roof could have been fixed. I don't think I ever see my kids them smile so much yet. That means everything to me. The Ministry of Economic, Growth and Job Creation make my life better.
Back with us here on Lead Story on CVM TV. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, is in the house. I want to ask again, based on this and what has been, there's a word I've been tempted to use from morning that was popularly used by a former JLP lawmaker, Senator Dorothy Lightburn, who said, Minister Dorothy Lightburn, who she'll have to talk about adumbrated. But anyway, let's go with listed. Let's go with listed here.
Yes.
What is in this collection of achievements that speaks to what the JLP administration, and I've committed the cardinal rule of allowing my mobile to ring on the air. I'm not panicking though because I'm experienced. There you go. What is in this list of achievements for older Jamaicans who are drawing a pension now and are dependent on the state to help them live these golden years? Start from there.
Well, you know, we established a social pension. One of our achievements is that we've established a social pension for those over 75 who never had a pension before. And we increased it. Then for those who had a pension, we've increased the NIS pension. We have increased the amount of conditions that are covered by the NHF, and we have increased the number of drugs and the prescriptions that are offered free. So we've moved from, I think it's about 1 million prescriptions being filled in 2015 to 3 million now. So we've literally tripled that amount. We have also reviewed, we had a select committee that reviewed all of the laws in relation to protection of the elderly. And so there's a new raft of proposals in respect of how we're going to ensure that we protect our seniors. We have also, I'm trying, there's something that is slipping me right now, but it's at the tip of my brain.
Yeah. Hopefully you remember it.
Yes.
So for the elderly, you will say that
Water Commission amnesty.
Yes.
With a special carve out for our seniors.
Yes. So that is there. There's a group of Jamaicans who feel every budget cycle, notwithstanding the fact that the Holness administration can say, well, we've had 9 cycles of no net new taxes. But they feel as if, well, here we go again. There's a lot for the poor. There's something for the elderly. But us in the middle, who borrowed heavily to finance our tertiary education, who are really propping up the system because our income tax is certain and captive, and the government depends on that, and our spending also drives the economy. But there isn't much in any budget for us in the middle. What would you say have been those things the JLP has done for those in the middle to middling classes?
You know, first thing I would do is not underplay no new taxes. It has become the norm. So I understand how people feel comfortable in that context. But I just invite everybody to remember the close to $60 billion in new taxes levied by us on us by the previous administration. The fact that every year, come February, March, because it wasn't a predictable cycle either, so around the second, third month of the year, you would start to fret about what new taxes. Businesses would slow down because they're waiting to see how to plan. Investments would halt. All of the accounting and banking agencies would be on tenterhooks waiting to hear what new taxes would come. Plus individual households. We have removed that uncertainty. That is a big change to people's ability to plan, fundamentally. The fact that we have reduced, we've kept inflation within target by making the BOJ independent and ensuring that their policies, monetary policy management is different from fiscal policy. We've established a fiscal commission as well. That's part of that whole regulatory framework. We have ensured that society at large is more stable by bringing down unemployment to historically low levels, cutting, again, apart from inflation, bringing down absolute poverty to historically low levels. Because you might be saying, but what does that have to do with me? But it's about creating that stable society in which growth can occur. We believe entirely that if we put country first at all times, then the growth will lift all of us because we'll be taking decisions that make sure that the widest number of people are impacted, and that will lift us all. The promotion of development, whether in housing, in infrastructure, the training of our young people and our not so young people, because among the 500 and odd thousand people that we have been training that have started to sign up at Heart since 2020, of course that sped up a lot when we removed all the fees in 2022. And what has happened is that the cycle of employment has become a lot more dynamic. Small businesses, young people who sign up at Heart, when they reach level 4, they get a grant that allows them to set up their own business, to buy their own tools of trade. If you're not on path, the grant is $50,000. So you can buy whether you're a welding tool or if you're a beautician or absolutely anything. You're an animator, you can buy a camera.
Key supplies, equipment.
Key supplies. And if you're on path, it's double that. It's 100,000 because you recognize that the person is actually starting with a deficit in terms of their social adjustment. All of these things, they contribute to a society that is becoming more stable and allowing for better growth and more social cohesion.
So I hear you say that predictability where taxes are concerned and the predictability of no net new taxes, and an orderly society where employment is at record lows, where inflation is being managed. You're saying that that's how that benefits from those things accrue to those in the middle classes.
It's part of that, because let me not leave out cutting the debt in half, because what that is doing is allowing for more money to be able to put into the schooling system, which is where you're going to send your children. It's allowing, if you have special needs children, it's allowing us to have the first therapeutic center that we've had before. We've increased the number of shadows that are available free of cost. The state pays for shadows to accompany children with special needs to school. We've added about 300 to the cohort, and we'll speak more about what else we'll be doing about that. We have, so we're not only making Jamaica safer by investing in our security forces, in our roads, our health sector, and our education sector, which is making Jamaica a better place for you to live. We're building houses, making more available, and facilitating a market that allows the private sector to also develop. Because what you want is a Jamaica where everyone sees an opportunity for themselves. They don't feel like they have to go elsewhere. And part of that is creating the public good that is stronger, you know? And I think there's a lot of that in here. Fixing the courts, appointing more judges.
Yes.
These are not obvious things,
Yes.
right? But it's for the first time that we have had the full cohort of judges from the appellate down to the parish court
Yes.
level, which are able to deliver justice more efficiently and more effectively.
Hear you on that. Let's take this break, and when we come back, we continue to talk about what the JLP has set down in this book. 250 plus achievements, and according to the administration, they didn't have space to fit all. And some of their supporters on social media are calling for a second edition in what they say should be a series. More after these. This is Lead Story, CVM TV.
To becoming a republic or future or choice. The time by the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs is
6:45.
Save when you charge your electric vehicle with JPS. It's even more affordable than gas. Our Charge and Go network offers the fastest electric vehicle chargers, so you can power up in as little as 30 minutes. With over 39 charging points island-wide, you'll always find a convenient place to shop, eat, work, or relax while you recharge. The Charge Lab app and Charge and Go RFID card make it easy to pay and track your charge right from your phone. Start charge. Learn more at jps.com/charge and go.
This iconic Jamaican has graced many a stage. From Broadway to TV to film, it's safe to say her star shines very bright. She is
The Honorable Dr. Cheryl Lee Ralph, Order of Jamaica. I love that so much. Yes.
what she said.
I was literally moved to tears, very much like when I got the call that I had been nominated for my first Emmy.
Yeah.
And then it was as if the spirit of my mother was rising up, because my mother always said, my children are to go further than I did. Don't you ever give up on yourself. Because if I'd given up on myself, I wouldn't be here. But here I am, Medea.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and IslandNet Services.
JLP supporters energized this evening after their party's surprise move to launch a blitz promoting what they say are 250 plus achievements under the Holness administration since it started this journey of governance in 2016. And the Prime Minister himself was on the streets of the corporate area handing copies of this book to Jamaicans as they went about their merry way. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, is in studio with me to talk about what is contained within this book. May I ask, in terms of, well, we spoke about justice in some way, national security, you mentioned police stations and so forth, the number of judges that have been increased, and we've spoken about the middle class and what has been done for them. May I ask, what in this document do you expect to satisfy someone who hasn't made a decision yet about what they're likely to do on election day? What in this is to convince them that you have the wherewithal to reap even more success in a third term, and at the same time to dissuade them from trying the PNP to see if they can't do even better than what you've accomplished so far?
You know, the beauty of this book is that it demonstrates that the achievements that we've undertaken, the targets that we've met, the things we've accomplished, cut across every demographic and every sector. So if a young person, you care about the fact that we removed guarantors for SLB, that we lowered all the interest rates, we reduced the insurance costs and removed almost all of the fees, they care about that. They care about the free training at heart and the tools that I just spoke about, the CARE program, the LIFT program, etc. They care about all of the training of young people, the JNSC. 8,000 young people trained, who most, I think 90-something% of them are employed with either the JDF, JCF, or in other professions, but related. The fact that we have reduced GCT, reduced transfer tax, reduced stamp duty, removed the minimum business tax, remove the asset tax on non-financially regulated. These are phenomenal things to have accomplished while increasing PATH, increasing minimum wage, cutting down debt, creating the social pension, as I spoke about earlier, and increasing those. The scholarships that we've offered, 2,000 STEM scholarships between MICO and UTEC, 600 within the health sector alone for graduate, postgraduate, the Marcus Garvey scholarships for public sector workers. I think we just had the second cohort assigned just this week. The water again, irrigation, Essex Valley, Parnassus, Pedro Plains. These are projects that have been spoken about for years, decades, as a matter of fact. Looking at the legislation that we've passed, there's even a new legal information portal. All the laws of Jamaica, Hansard, everything that you would need to know about Jamaica, updated from a legal perspective, available on a portal, free of charge. There are things that we've been doing institutionally, establishing the Integrity Commission, and not only passing the law, but giving it the budget to do what it needs to do, because we believe in an institution that is fair, unbiased, and staffed to do the work of anti-corruption fighting. It's something that we believe in. We've strengthened MOCA, passed the law to create it as a separate institution. We've invested in the police in a way that has now given them the tools to make us safer, as they've been wanting to do for years. Police, the constabulary force is for the first time at its establishment level, 14,000, because we've finally been able to recruit more than retire or have to be removed. So many things that are, giving them the vehicles to respond. In agriculture, we've upgraded Bodles, the research center. We've provided a productivity incentive. We provide equipment that they can lease so that they can remove the burdens and the barriers that keep them from being able to make a profit. Tourism and our farmers created the Alex Exchange.
All right.
So what I'm saying is there's so much here that regardless of what interests you, there's something here. Whether you're an environmentalist, a business person, an entrepreneur, a tech startup. We have the first government-sponsored tech startup. We have the new entertainment zones that starting with Fort Rocky and Jam World. So much happening here.
But here's the thing.
That shows that we can do, we will deliver, and we can implement, and will implement.
Here's the thing. Someone may be asking, why George is allowing the minister to speak, but it is because you've published this book, and you have to talk about this book. Here's the thing I would ask you, though, and it goes back to the question at the top about feeling the benefits. Someone will say to you, well, Minister, here's a challenge I have. With all that the JLP has listed as solid accomplishments, the thing closest to me is my purchasing power. And if I reflect on 9 years ago, what my dollar was able to buy, I would say that my dollar is no more powerful now under an administration that talks about 250 plus achievements, and that's a challenge I have. And maybe I may find that my dollar packs more purchasing power under the PNP. I'll put that to you for your response.
So I would just remind them to do just a little research on the 90s. When the whole world was booming and everybody was growing, Jamaica was eking out some very anemic growth. But what did we also experience? The entire shutdown, collapse of the financial sector, interest rates in the 3-digit. I don't know if people can understand now who didn't experience it, that a man would take out a loan at 13%, and would end up with a loan at 130%. Families were wiped out. We're not exaggerating when we say that they are responsible for the worst financial disaster in Jamaica's history, bar none. And it was created by them. So it's not even like us who had to deal with COVID that came in onto us from the world. And we successfully navigated it. They created FinSAC. And then the people who benefited from FinSAC are now actually trying to lead Jamaica when we know they benefited directly from it, and trying to say that they're money maker already. It is egregious and horrendous. And people did not, I think, to compare a spending capacity then with a collapsed environment. I'm not sure the comparison is an appropriate one.
Yes, yes. So
a stable environment is what Jamaica needs right now in this geopolitically dynamic and unpredictable world.
So again,
steady hands.
Well, not first point here at the death. The people of Jamaica reading this, what do you want them to take insofar as the JLP's capacity and ability to do more than they've done? Because again, I have to come at you from this angle, because I want to challenge what you have here, because people are saying, well, is this the best that could have been achieved in those 9 years? Isn't there better that could have been achieved? And what if we say, you know what, let's put new management in place to see if more can be coaxed out of the economy, if we can reach higher heights?
Who is going to coax it out?
Yes.
The people who feel it's a downgrade to step from university to serve the people? The people who tell you that you must, do unspeakable things to your mother? That's who is going to provide this better life and this better economy. The people who call the chairman of a political party a little boy, and citizens a little girl and a little woman, and cabinet ministers referred to as a little guy. The person who curses dirty bad words on stage as soon as they get a little flustered, that's who is going to lead us to a better life. I would like to say, not to mention, the people who led one of the companies that benefited directly under Omar Davies from